What is up, everyone? We are here talking about UFC 326, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 2. This is a sick main event and a decent card, but I wish it was a little bit better, to be honest. There could have been a little bit more fights added on that could have boosted this up quite a bit, but I feel like the BMF fights are just kind of, the cards aren't really all that. The main events are stellar, but overall, the rest of the card is usually kind of weak. But enough said with that. Let's get into the first fight on the card. We got Luke Fernandez versus Rodolfo Bellato. Now I gotta keep it real. I think Rodolfo Bellato is a phony. I don't think he's good at all. He just got pieced up by Navajo Sterling in his recent fight where he lost via decision. I think it was like a 30-27. Luke Fernandez, on the other hand, he's pretty green in MMA. He's making his UFC debut in this fight. So it is kind of like a tough one where it's like Bellato has a lot more experience than him. But I think overall, I don't think Bellato has the skills to beat a lot of these guys. And I think Luke Fernandez is a just example of that, where Luke Fernandez is going to be, the better striking, the more power, the more just like overall technical, I guess, strategy going into this fight. Bellato, I don't know if you guys forgot, but he is actually the guy who faked being knocked out against Paul Craig via an upkick because I guess he was too scared to fight Paul Craig. But yeah, Bellato's a joke. I'm picking Luke Fernandez by TKO in the first round. Moving on to the next fight, we got Zhang Young Lee versus Walmart discount clearance section Ilia Topuria, Gaston Bolaños. So Zhang Young Lee is stepping in on short notice. It was supposed to be, I think, the Korean Zombie Jr., like is his nickname, which I was excited to see. They're both coming off losses. Bolaños, I think, getting submitted in his last fight. Lee is a -2, or actually 325, while Bolaños is a +260. I don't agree with those odds. I think Bolaños is good on the feet. Like, he's not bad. He got kind of, slimed out by Marcus McGee, which Marcus McGee, very tough striking, very good on the feet. Zhang Weng Lee, I don't think these odds should be that far apart. I am going to side with Zhang Young Lee on this one to get it done. Just via decision, I think, is where I'm kind of leaning. But I think it's going to be a lot more competitive than the odds have you think. So I'm going to go with Lee on this one. Yeah, I think probably pick his shots a little bit better. Bolaños is a little wild in the feet, and I think he'll just kind of outpoint him. But don't be surprised if this one's competitive because Bolaños is not that bad. Like he's like he's pretty low level, but still, like he's not that terrible. So yeah, but my official pick is going to be Lee via decision. Next up, we got Rafael Tobias versus Dair, whatever that guy's last name is. He's a guy from Kazakhstan. Do I know either one of these fighters? No. Am I still going to predict the fight? Yes. I'm going with Rafael Tobias. I know for a fact Dair has no ground game whatsoever, and he's a pretty low-level fighter overall. And Rafael Tobias has better striking, so I'm just going to lean with that. I'm going to go with Tobias to win I think a second-round knockout. I think he's going to kind of find his rhythm as he goes past the first round because this is his debut, and he's going to knock out Dair. I don't think Dair's that great from what I've heard. So I'm going to side with Rafael. He's a -205 right now, and Dair is a +170. The over 1.5 is a -105, while the under is a -125. So it sounds like they're predicting it to go, under that 1.5 mark, and I'm, predicting a second round finish. So it's going to be right in between there. Don't be surprised if it's like a slow fight, because these are guys that are just too kind of, I feel like low-level light heavyweights, and they could be slow, and just kind of gas out, and it could just be a boring decision. at the end of the day. So maybe go that over 1.5 and just throw like $10 on it. I don't know, man. It's not really worth your time anyway. So my overall pick is gonna be Rafael Tobias via TKO in the second round. Moving on to Sumerdage. I think I'm saying that correctly. Versus Jesus Aguilera. There's something about this fight. I know Sumerdage has looked pretty good. He's looked impressive, more improved. He's the bigger guy, bigger reach. I mean, Jesus has a 10-inch reach disadvantage. I guess 9.5 if being really specific. So it's tough, but I feel like Jesus may win. But I don't know. I mean, they're both coming off of wins. A part of me wants to pick Jesus just based upon a feeling that I have. I know it's kind of lame to say, even though I do think Sumerdage is a better, more improved fighter. So let's go with Sumerdage. I'm not going to switch up. I'm going to go with Sumerdage to win. Let's say via decision. I think it's going to be pretty clean. Maybe a 29-28, but I think maybe a 30-27 as well. So I think just on the feet, Jesus is going to be screwed. So the odds have it a minus 245 for Sumerdage, and Jesus Aguilera is a plus 200. So early prelims, got all favorites actually, come to think about it. But yeah, this one I'm a little skeptical about. I would maybe even look into more of Jesus and just see kind of maybe you could get some value out of him for being a dog. So plus 200 is pretty significant. Moving on. There are 3 Codys on this card. And I don't know if you guys know or remember, but back in, I don't know what month it was, but it was Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman as the main event. There was 3 Codys on that one. The same three Codys, and they all lost. So, will they all win this one? I think there's going to be a few Cody wins on this card. And one of them is going to be Cody Durden. Okay, this guy's name is Naiman Jargle. Sure. He's like the artist, or what is his name? The artist of KO or something like that. The art of KO is his like nickname. He gets submission wins. He's coming off a loss. So is Cody Durden. I mean, he's kind of just, he's a really iffy fighter, but I'm gonna side with Cody Durden on this one. I think on the feet he has the better striking, and I think on the ground he could have some better like success too. I think he has this experience to beat this guy. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards. I think this is a fight that Cody Durden absolutely wins. So I just looked back. Cody Durden is coming off a 3-fight losing streak against Joshua Van and then David Ochoa. I think it's his first name. Or Jose Ochoa. That's what it is. Jose Ochoa and Nascimento. So, dude, pretty damn good fighters. I think he beats Naiman Jargo. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It sounds so wrong. Like, that's tough competition for Durden, and I think this is just a fight he wins. So, yeah, I'm going with Cody Durden to win this fight via... Let's go another decision. I don't know if he's going to get a finish. I doubt it. I think this is going to be like a cruise decision. So, Cody Durden by a decision. And before I get carried away with myself, let's go over the odds. Cody Durden is a plus 124, while Naiman Jargo is the favorite at a minus 148. So, hey, I'm picking a dog. There you go. There's your dog pick of the night. There's more to come, actually. So, moving on. Ricky Turcios versus Alberto Montes. So, Alberto Montes, he has pretty good grappling. He's been kind of in limbo, waiting for a debut fight. I don't know what's going on with that. Turcios he was supposed to fight Cameron Smotherman back at... That was just recently. I think that was UFC 324. But Cameron Smotherman had some difficulties at the weigh-ins. So he's been kind of just waiting for a fight. Turcios is wild. He's really scrambly on the ground. Good striking overall. But I think overall Montez has the grappling advantage. And if it gets to the feet, maybe the striking advantage. But I think he's going to sub Tercios within the first round, bro. I think it's going to be a pretty quick night for Montez. And, yeah, it'd be a quick win. So I'm going to go with Alberto Montez to get this win. He is currently at, let's see here, a minus 192, while Tercios is a plus 160. I think that's pretty favorable for him. But like I said, Montez has been like in limbo, waiting for a debut fight. I don't know what's been going on with that. It's been like a year or more, I think. So that's at least what like Tapology says in like his record. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe be a little cautious of this one. Maybe just go. Maybe go under the 2.5. That's a plus 124. I mean, this is definitely a fight that I could see ending in a finish. So maybe just go with that. But yeah, my official pick is gonna be Montez by submission in round 1. So moving on, Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Another Cody, and if you see, boom, another Cody. Anyways, Dante Johnson, pretty good grappling, improved boxing. While Cody Brundage, on the other hand, has just kind of stayed the same for a long time. And he just got knocked out. It was like a TKO. It's not really like a knockout, but it was still a TKO stoppage by Cam Rouston less than a month ago, I think. So how is it gonna work for Cody? Like how? I'm gonna side with Dante Johnson just due to the fact that Cody Brundage is kind of a bum. And he I think just jumps into fights any chance he gets. Holy crap, these odds are insane. I just looked at them. So yeah, I'm going to go with Dante Johnson to get a very easy win. He's a minus 800 favorite, but Cody Brundage is a plus 550. I think it's mostly due to the fact that he just got knocked out. So I don't blame people for picking him, Johnson, in that note. I think it's gonna go. I think it's gonna be pretty quick. I think it's gonna be another first round finish. Probably TKO, but I don't know. This may be kind of like a slow starter. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna go with Dante Johnson to get a first round TKO. Maybe second round. We'll see. But he's a lot shorter guy, so he might have to like find his range for a while. But eventually he will. I mean, he does have a reach advantage, even though he's like 4 inches shorter. That doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I'm going to go with Dante Johnson to get this win. Next up, Cody Garbrandt versus Zhao Long. I'm going with Cody. 2 out of the 3 Codys are going to win on Saturday, bro. They're going to win. Cody Garbrandt, he is such a hit or miss fighter. He's mostly miss, honestly. He has gone, I don't know, man. Like, what happened to Cody? I just don't get it. I think he beats these kind of guys, though. Like, this should be easy work for him. Zhao Long has good striking. He has decent power. But Cody still has really good boxing. He dropped Barcelos, bro. He dropped Hani Barcelos and then proceeded to emo on him instead of finishing him, because that's what champions do. But yeah, Garbrandt's coming off a loss against Barcelos via decision. But yeah, I think it's just a fight he wins, bro. I'm hoping he gets a KO against Long, but don't be surprised if this goes to decision. Cody's currently a plus 130, while Zhao Long is a minus 155. So I'm going to side with Cody on this one, man, as the underdog. I think this is a pretty solid pick, honestly. Maybe throw him in a parlay, but do like a long shot parlay and put like $10 down or something. Dude, like, I don't know. Don't put too much money on this guy, because you'll be pissed when you lose it. Trust me. Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. Oh, I got Cody by decision, by the way. So this fight is actually a rematch where Ferreira actually won the first fight. And I got to keep it real, man. I don't think Ferreira is that good. I kind of liked him at first, but then I was like, he's not that good. He kind of gasses out. He had a pretty boring fight with Marvin Vettori, and like, sure, you beat Marvin Vettori, but I mean, at this point in Vettori's career, I don't get who isn't beating him. And honestly, it was kind of competitive with Vettori in some moments. So Rodriguez, on the other hand, has looked pretty damn good. He's improved greatly, especially from the TKO loss, from Vieira, from Jerry Cannonier. It's like I feel like Gregory Rodriguez is improving in each fight he goes to. He just slimed out Jack Hermanson, which was horrible KO, and then just beat Roman Kopylov via decision. He's been pretty active actually too. He's looked really good. Gigantic Obama, he looks pretty damn good, more improved I think than Vieira, and I think Gregory Rodriguez has the better wins, and I think just the better striking, and I think he's gonna knock out Vieira. It's gonna be like a repeat of the first fight, but the opposite results. Gregory is actually a -198, while Vieira is a +164. The under 1.5 is a -110, and the over is, I got those mixed up. Over is 110, -110, and then under is -120. So pretty dead even odds on the 1.5. I feel like they're gonna plot around at range for a bit, because I think these guys have both kind of improved on their striking and their technical, just like game plan. So I think there's gonna be some respect in there in the first round, and I think it's gonna go over the 1.5. So I would favor that, but I am gonna favor Rodriguez to eventually find the TKO over Vieira. So that's my official pick. Oh my God, Gregory Rodriguez. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Look how freaking huge Drew Dober's calves are compared to Johnson. Just take a moment. Just look at that. It's insane. This is a tough one to pick because I like both these guys. They're super entertaining fighters. The odds have it dead even, while Drew Dober is like a he's a +102. Johnson's a -122, so pretty damn even odds. I'm actually gonna pick Drew Dober, even though Michael Johnson is pretty fast. He's gonna be having a speed advantage over Dober. Dober can struggle with the speed sometimes, but look at who Dober lost to, man. It's been Manuel Torres and John Silva by doctor stoppage. I know his chin's degraded, and Johnson has good KO power, but I don't know, man. I think Drew Dober can get this one done. He just won against Kyle Prepelic, which Kyle Prepelic looked pretty good. I think honestly Prepelic is a decent fighter. I think he's gonna get a win in the UFC eventually. He hasn't really had too much success, but he's also going against pretty tough opponents. But Johnson, on the other hand, coming off a win against Daniel Zellhuber, which at the moment looked really impressive, but now we just saw Bobby Green TKO Daniel Zellhuber and make him look like a clown, and he should be cut for the UFC, honestly. But I don't know. Something tells me that just like Drew Dober, I think he's gonna have maybe not the volume, but maybe the power advantage. I know Johnson has good power, but I just don't know if he's gonna set on his punches like he used to. I think he's been KO'd too many times, and he's gonna be kind of a little more cautious. While Dober doesn't give a shit. I think he's gonna set on his punches pretty hard and look for the finish. So I'm gonna side with Drew Dober to win this fight. Wow, the under 1.5 is a -215. That's insane. I think it should be a really good fight. I think it's gonna be a first round finish for Drew Dober, or for both guys, honestly. They may just hit each other at the same time and they both go out cold. Imagine seeing that in the UFC. That'd be absolutely hilarious. But I am gonna side with Drew Dober on this one to win via TKO over Michael Johnson. So let's go on to the Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. This just screams to me too much too soon for Raul. He's not very proven. He's sub Ricky Tercios. Rob Font, on the other hand, coming off a loss against David Martinez, but look at how good Martinez looked. He just fought Chito Vera, which, I mean, Cheeto is just, I don't know what he even does anymore. But I think this is just too much too soon. Rob Font has decent, just like submission defense, and I think when it's on the feet, he's gonna piece up Raul really bad. And I think he just has that kind of like that crafty vet, that crafty vet, just skill set where he could just, lose the first round, but then win the decision 29-28 or via split decision, honestly, too. So I am going to side with Rob Font just due to the fact that Raul has not really proved all that much, and Rob Font has proved a lot and has had a lot of success against, prospects coming up. I mean, look at the Kyler Phillips fight. I don't rate Kyler Phillips highly at all, but still, he pieced the hell out of Kyler Phillips. And, yeah. And he's a pretty sizable underdog in that fight, too. So, odds have it plus 185 for Rob Font. Kind of crazy. And Raul is a minus 225. I don't know if you can rely on either of these guys, honestly. Like, this would be really a tough fight. I don't know if Raul was going to win a decision. Maybe based on control time he could, but I think it'd be a submission if he was going to win, and Rob Font would be a decision. So maybe go like a significant strike thing on Rob Font, but I don't know. But I'm going to go with Rob Font to win this fight via 29-28 decision over Raul. Just too much too soon. I can't really trust Raul quite yet in his career. Next up, co-main event, Kyle Brahalo versus Rener de Ridder. I got to keep it real. I'm going to talk about this one for quite a bit. So if you want to skip ahead to the main event, go ahead. But RDR, I'm a little biased to. I like him. I like his fighting style. It's super goofy, but it's his own style. Like if you how like sometimes they do like the UFC post where it's like the fighter's like blacked out, like you can't see who it is, but like you just like see like they're striking and like the fight they're in. I would be able to tell who the hell that is. Like 9 times out of 10, I feel like, with RDR, because it's so unique and he's so different. Kyle Brahalo, on the other hand, he has a very clean striking game. He's really similar to Robert Whittaker, and that's honestly where I kind of side with Rener de Ridder on this one. RDR has a win over Robert Whittaker, coming off a loss against Brendan Allen, which, let's keep it real. RDR had cut weight so many times in a calendar, like a span of a year. He had 5 fights in a span of a year. He fought GM3, Kevin Holland, Bo Nickel knocked out him, then Robert Whittaker, and then Brendan Allen. The dude absolutely gassed himself out. He put his body through way too much. He talked about it in interviews too, where he just overtrained. And in this camp, bro, he has been locked in. He's taken some time off. He's really solidified his cardio. And the day I'm recording this, actually, some of the media day photos have just come out, and RDR looks in great shape. He looks leaner. He looks healthier, I hope. And on the other hand, like Kyle Brahalo, man, he has really good striking, really clean striking, good jiu-jitsu, but overall, RDR is really damn good on the ground as well. So I'm not really worried about that. And the KO power of Brahalo is very underrated, or overrated, my bad. He knocked out Paul Craig in the second round. RDR took a nuke of an overhand right to the dome against Robert Whittaker. Like, I know what you may say about Whittaker's power, but still. Watch that fight. Watch that sequence. RDR's head spins like 360. He falls and he wakes back up. Like, I feel like if you're not getting knocked out from that, like, obviously if it was like an Alex Pereira hitting him, he would be, his head would probably like fly across the octagon. But still, like with Whittaker, that was a gnarly hit. And dude, RDR, his knees, his pressure, his grappling, it's very good. His jab was money against Robert Whittaker. And I think if he comes in this fight much improved, which I think he is going to, while Kyle Brahalo is going to kind of rely on the same tactics he's had success in the past, because, I mean, who you just lose to? Nasruddin Imavov, the number 1 contender, considered the most, who has really good striking and boxing. So it's like not a bad loss, So I think Kyle Brahalo's going to win the first round pretty easily. Just the speed advantage is going to be there for him. But I think as he closes that distance, RDR is going to work on that jab, work on those knees as he comes in, diminish and slowly hurt the gas tank of Brahalo. And as the fight continues, RDR is going to start to wear on him a little bit more. I don't think it's going to end in a finish, honestly, but I am going to side with RDR to win via decision. 29-28, possibly even a split decision. I think it's going to be a close fight for sure. The odds maker have it as Brahalo is a minus 290, which is, I think, insane, while RDR is a plus 235. So I'm going to side with RDR in this one. The over 2.5 is a minus 195, while the under 2.5 is a plus 150. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, money line on RDR, man. Why not? Like, I think a super underrated fighter still. Like, in every fight he's in, he's an underdog. Like, I think the only fight he's been in the UFC where he was a favorite was against GM3, and he looked like shit. But whenever he's a dog, he does really well. Oh, and obviously the Brennan Allen fight, he was a favorite and then did shit. So, hey, man, whenever he's a dog, he comes into the fight and wins. So I'm just saying, there's some merit to it. So, with that said, final pick, RDR, even though I do rate Kyle Brahalo pretty high, I still think RDR is going to have a lot of success as the fight continues. I wish it was a 5-round fight, honestly. But anyways, main event, the moment you've all been waiting for. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Fantastic fight. I've been back and forth in this fight way too damn much. I am ready for this fight to happen so I can lay my thoughts and my predictions to rest because I've been back and forth. I originally picked Max Holloway because I just thought it was like, it's pretty clear when this fight got announced. And then I switched my pick to Oliveira. I watched some fights from Holloway, watched some fights from Charles, and I was like, I think Oliveira can have a moment where he syncs up a submission. And then I went back to Max for the volume, for the power, or for the improved power in lightweight. And then now I've switched it again. I'm going with Oliveira. I'm going for Oliveira via submission. So, the biggest thing that stands out to me, and I'm sure you guys know, Max Holloway is a very, volume-heavy striker. Great, just overall technical striking on the feet. Had a lot of success against Ilia Topuria. Has improved power at lightweight. So, he knocked out Justin Gaethje after a 5-round, kind of war, I guess, where it was more one-sided, obviously, but still. And fought against Dustin Poirier recently to defend his belt, his BMF belt, and got dropped a couple times, man. I think either 2 or 3 times. I watched that fight a little bit ago. But what I saw in that fight, and the thing is too, Oliveira has pretty underrated power. Like, he has some pretty nasty power. Great Muay Thai. I think in that moment, there's Dustin Poirier drops Holloway with a grazing right hook or something, and he sinks up a guillotine. And if Dustin is sinking up a guillotine on you when he gets dropped, imagine what a world-class, super proficient submission artist like Oliveira is going to do to you with that power. Sure, Oliveira's chin is not that great, but I also do think Holloway's chin has degraded since Ilia Topuria lost, man. Look how many times he's been dropped. And the thing is, too, people say, oh, Holloway has improved power in lightweight, but people have more power in lightweight. That's why people are, so surprised when, Ilia Topuria was bursting on the scene in featherweight, because there was, usually in featherweight, there's not really, that much KO power. Same with Diego Lopez, I guess, but overall, lightweight is usually the one that has, from that jump, has that more power, has that more significant strikes. And I think when you're going against someone who, is like Oliveira, who has really good striking, really good pressure, not very, really defensively sound, but has like that pressure that I think is needed to beat someone like Holloway, who likes to fight at range and get his significant, like gets his strikes off, gets that volume up, circles on the outside. But I think someone like Oliveira is going to cut him off and just wrestle him, pressure him, and possibly even drop him in this fight. I think both guys are going to drop each other. I think both guys are going to drop each other within like 2 rounds pretty easily. I think it's going to be an absolute war, like from start to finish, honestly. But yes, I am going to pick Oliveira for my final pick. I hope he wins but honestly, man, like this is such a coin flip fight, I feel like. Especially because these are 2 like really big fan favorites. So I don't know. Pick who you like and just that's what you got to go with on this fight because it should just be a fun fight to watch anyways. But hopefully it's something like brutal, I don't really want to see either guy get brutally KO'd because seeing Max get KO'd by Ilya was actually like the hardest watch. It was hard. But anyways, Oliveira is a plus 175 while Holloway is a minus 230. The over 2.5 is a minus 175 while the under 2.5 is a plus 135. I think that over 2.5 is pretty safe. Even though I do think there's going to be like a war, I think that over 2.5 is going to be, it's going to go by quick, before you know it, it's going to be the 3rd round. So I would do that. Official pick, Oliveira via submission. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my 2nd time recording this video. I don't know what happened. The audio in the first video just decided not to record for some odd reason, so I yapped for like 40 plus minutes for nothing. So I am going to come out with this video a little bit later than I had planned. I was planning on editing it right now, and I noticed that, so it's going to be a little bit more delayed than usual. So hopefully I can get it out before Saturday. I'm really hoping. Well, I mean, I guess if you guys are seeing this, it did come out before Saturday, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys' picks are in the comments and who you guys are rooting for. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one.